Cool. So for those of you that are here, like I said, we'll give it about a minute or so more. Whilst we're here, what I'd like us to try and focus on today, whilst we're moving through all of these movements, is our breathing. I know what do you think you breathing into your chest. Today I'd like you to think about trying to breathe using your diaphragm. So the sling of muscle that's just underneath your ribs there, that's what pulls down and contracts to draw the air in and then relaxes to allow the air back out again. So as you're breathing through this, as you're moving through this, I'm going to be talking about your breathing, thinking about breathing in during certain times and breathing out during certain times. It tends to help with how the body moves and how we flow through everything. Okay, so right, let's make a start then, shall we? Okay, so welcome to this afternoon's class. As always, please make sure that if there's any pain or discomfort or anything like that any time throughout the class that you stop or just skip the exercise if you can't do it. Again, feel free to do as much or as little as you'd like, and at the very end I'll hang around for some questions and for any other things that you might want to ask. So we're going to start off in the same way as we normally do. The class is, again, it's going to be split into two halves. First half is about movement and a little bit of mobility, and the second half is more about the strength side of things and moving under control and trying to keep everything as tense and strong as possible. So our first movement that we're going to do, we're just going to lock our hips. So same as we've done in our classes before, you're going to drop your hips nice and far apart. We have got some different moves coming in today, guys, so it's not all going to be exactly the same, but this one's a pretty effective movement for getting those hips nice and loose. So knees as far apart as you can get them, feet out to the side, almost so like you're splayed, like a frog would be, and you can come down onto your forearms if you'd like, just rocking forwards and backwards there as we go. And what you're trying to do, again, think about that breathing. You're going to breathe in as you move and breathe out as you come all the way forwards, and breathe out as you go all the way backwards. Hey Sam Lees, thank you very much, mate. Cool, rocking forwards and backwards, getting those hips nice and loose. Again, you can increase your speed just a little bit more, taking it easy. Don't push yourself too far, either forwards or too far backwards, as you don't want to pull anything too far. All right, let's go to the individual one. So you're going to take your right hip, twist it down to the floor, come back to the middle. Left hip twists and goes down to the floor and back to the middle. Again, right hip, left hip. Good, one more on each side. Right hip, and that left hip again. Okay, so you're going to shuffle yourself backwards, guys. You're going to need a little bit more space from here. So we're going to start off with our hip rocks, just as we were for loosening up there. And what we're going to do is take our right leg and lunge forwards into a big lunge forwards position. So hands on the floor, take that right leg, step right forwards as far as you can into that lunge position. Hands stay on the floor, and then you're going to come back into that same position. So let's try that again. Right leg forward into a big lunge, and then back down onto the floor. Right leg again, and back down onto the floor. Get those hips rocking forwards and backwards again. And then we're going to move it over to the other side. So it's that left leg. So both hands planted on the floor, sitting back onto your heels there. Left leg comes forwards into that forward lunge position and backwards. Good. Again, try and keep that controlled and as smooth as possible. Take a breath in here and breathe out. Squeeze your abs as you then move back down. Same. Breathe in and breathe out as you move. Good, so onto the other side again. Good, and now let's try and alternate in between. So left leg forwards, right leg forwards. Bringing that foot as far forward as you can. We're going to do one more on each side. Good. Left side. Nice. And down. Okay. hip rocks again. So rocking forwards and backwards. Loosen that tension off in your hips there. As we move nice and easy, we're going to go back into the lunge position with our right leg, and this time we're going to add in one extra movement. So right leg comes up, forward, into that lunge position. Now both hands are going to come out to your side, and you're going to rock your hips from side to side as much as you can. You can put your right hand on the outside of the right leg if you like, but you're trying to drop your hips from side to side as close to the floor as you can get them. And again, breathe out as you move into that stretching movement. And breathing in the middle. Okay, let's take it to the other side. So let's go back into that hips there. Let's go 2 on this side. So step forward one more time. Lunge. Back in. And lunge. Good. We're going to go to the left side now. So 2 steps forward with the left. Good. That's 1. Back to the hip rock. 2. Now we're going to stay here. Hands go a little bit wider. So you've got plenty of space. And you're going to rock those hips from side to side. Good. Trying to drop them in as close to the floor as you can get them. Good. Now you can see that hands and the foot are all pretty much in line. Trying to keep that nice straight line there as you get in the hips as close to the floor as you can on either side. Okay, let's go stepping backwards again with the left leg. We're going to just do a couple more. So step back. Good. Step forward one more. Good. And then stepping back. Again, back into those hip rockers. Rocking forwards and backwards. Okay, we've got another movement to add in. A few more to go. So, step forward into the lunge with that right foot. Let's go 2 of those. So that was 1, 2, into the hips from side to side. Good, nice. And slow, keeping your breathing under control. Next movement we're going to add in then, guys, keeping that right hand where it is. Left hand, so you're going to reach up to the ceiling as high as you can. And you're going to reach through underneath as far as you can. So up and through. Up and through. We've got 2 more to go on this side. Think about the breathing. You're going to breathe in as you move and breathe out as you reach. Okay, back into those hips from side to side then. We're going back down and across to the other side to add in that reaching as well. Good, hips nice and close to the floor, dropping them down either side. Right leg goes back. We're going to go forward one more time and then back into those rockers. Good. Sitting back into your hip rocks there. Good stuff. Nice and easy. Okay, left leg comes forward this time. So we're going left, step forward, big lunge. Left leg comes back. We've got 1 more. Step forward into that lunge. And then we've got those rocking hips from side to side this time, as opposed to forwards and backwards, trying to get them as close to the floor as you can as you rock them from side to side. Again, keeping your breathing nice and easy. Okay, plant that left hand then flat on the floor, right hand up to the ceiling as high as you can, coming down, thread it behind that front foot. Good, breathing in as you move, out as you reach. Good. Nice and slow on that movement. Good. Let's go 1 more, reaching through. Good. Hands out to the side. Again, those hips from side to side again, getting them nice and close to the floor. Keeping your breathing easy. Wonderful stuff. Okay, stepping back with the left foot. You go forward 1 more time, step forward, Good. Lunge position, step back into your rockers. Good. Okay, rocking forwards and backwards. Release that tension from in your hips there. Okay. So this time, guys, we're going to go all the way through. We're going to add in one more exercise. So let's take it just one at a time. We're going to lunge forward with the right, hip rocks from side to side, and that right hand plants to the foot, reaching up to the ceiling. Couple of reaches, 1 and 2, and now from here we're going to take this left leg and bring it forward so that we're in a deep squat position. So both hands flat on the floor, left leg comes forward, and you're down into that squat position. You're going to rock from side to side, a bit like the knee drops that we did in our session last week, except this time the knees are staying nice and tall. So rocking the hips from side to side as we go from there. So start to feel a little bit uncomfortable in the hips. That's okay. If it gets uncomfortable, bring yourself up to stand. Just make a couple of circles either way to loosen off that tension, and then get back down into that squat. Okay, let's go back down. I'm going to go over to the other side. So both hands flat on the floor, left leg drops backwards into that big lunge position. Right hand down by the right foot, left hand up to the ceiling. A couple of reaching through, or if you're familiar with yoga or Pilates, they call it threading the needle as well. Good. Left hand out to the side, both hands big and wide, and dropping those hips from side to side there. Ignore that cracking noise, that's just my ankle. Good. Left to right. And then we're going to step back with that right leg. Good. Into that kneeling rockers. Okay, forwards and backwards to release that tension. We're going to go up on the left side this time. So the left leg comes forwards into that big forward lunge position. Hands go wide, hips go from your side to side. Again, as you'll find that as you go in towards this side, so for me, my left foot's down, my hips are moving left, you'll probably find that side feels like there's a little bit more of a stretch than going to the right side. That's okay. Remember, just as it gets tight when you're stretching, just breathe out and breathe into it. Okay, plant that left hand next to the left foot, reaching up to the ceiling. We're going to reach through and up to the ceiling just a couple of times, and then we're going to get ourselves into that squat position again. And there, one more up to the ceiling. Good. Both hands down, flat on the floor. Right foot comes forward into a nice deep squat. Hey Fee, thanks for the comment. Okay, sitting in that deep squat position, rocking your hips from side to side. And again, this will probably feel quite uncomfortable if you spend quite a lot of time sat at a desk. But the important thing is that you keep moving to release that tension. If it gets too tight, again, just stand up. Also from the side, what your back should be doing, you see, rather than rolling forwards like here and sitting, should be up nice and tall so that you've got a nice straight back as you sat from the side there. So we're still in our squat position, and we're going to take it back down and over to the other side to add in a couple more exercises or movements for this mobility routine. So hands go back flat on the floor, right leg goes back again, left hand's planted to the left foot. We're going to reach up and through just twice this time. That's once, reaching through twice, hand goes out to the side, big wide stance, hips go from side to side, trying to get them down as close to the floor as you can on either side, and then keeping those hands there. Left leg comes back, and we're back into those rockers in the middle again, rocking the hips forwards and backwards to release that tension. Okay, so we're going to go up with the right leg this time. Both hands down, right leg comes forwards, rocking your hips from side to side. Good. Again, nice wide hands, wide stance. Right hand plants to the foot, left hand up to the ceiling, reaching through behind that front foot and up to the ceiling as much as you can. Good, just a couple more here. Nice and easy on the breathing. Good, hands then go flat down, and that left leg is coming forwards so that we're in that deep squat position again. So just as we did a moment ago, rocking the hips from side to side in that deep squat. Now our next movement that we've got does require a little bit of space, so I'm going to shuffle myself backwards because my knees are going to be coming forward. So I'm just going to get back to about here, shall we say. Okay, so we're in our squat position, nice and deep there. We're going to put our hands down like this, and then we're going to try and push our knees forwards as much as we can to get them on the floor there. So that's forwards and backwards from the side. Deep squat position, hands behind. If you can't get them flat on the floor, that's okay. Just put them wherever's comfortable. Nice and tall if you can. You're going to push your hips forwards and your knees down. So you're leaning right back, whole body is there. You've got your spine in extension, your hips are also extended, and we're just going to come back again. So we're going to go forwards, pushing the hips through, squeeze your butt, push your hips up to the ceiling if you can, and bring them back. So we're going to push those hips through, knees down, chest up. What you're also doing is putting your shoulder into extension there as well, getting a good stretch right down the front. One more time, hips come back, hips go forwards again, knees come down. If, like me, you're not particularly flexible, you can splay your feet out to the side, and that's okay. So let's get back into that deep squat position, pulling ourselves back in. Nice and tall on the chest, just rocking your hips from side to side. Good, trying to release some of that tension. Okay, let's take our left leg back from here, both hands in, reaching up and through. Just twice, once, that was twice, both hands out to the side, dropping the hips from side to side. Good, as much movement as you can get in that bit, going from side to side. Wonderful, hands stay where they are, and that right leg comes back, so you're into those rocking movements again. Okay, this time we're going to take left leg forwards, going all the way through up to the bit where we push our hips forwards again. So left leg comes forwards, left hand on the inside, right hand out to the side, moving those hips from side to side as much as you can. Big movements. Wonderful stuff. And again, as you move to the left, so as you move towards the side of the foot that's down, it's when you feel that stretch increase. So really try and push through that a little bit further each time. Left hand stays flat, reaching up to the ceiling, reaching behind that front leg. So it's up and behind. Both hands flat on the floor, step forward with the other foot, and we're into our deep squat. We're going to rock from side to side in our deep squat position. Good. And then we're going to move straight back into that exercise we just put in, which is pushing ourselves forwards and down. So I'm going to move myself to the side so you can see in that deep squat position here. Hands go down, behind. Now again, if you can't put your hands flat, that's absolutely fine. Just put them where it's comfortable. Feet flat on the floor, squeeze your butt, push your hips forwards and through. And you're down with your knees there. Come back into the middle. Forwards again. Push your hips up. Push your chest up. When you go 2 or 3 more times, knees down. Wonderful stuff. Great, forwards there. Again, as you're moving, guys, if it's uncomfortable to move, if it's exceptionally painful, then obviously skip the movement. But if it's just a little bit sticky as you're moving, just breathe out, relax into it. To then move. Okay, back in that deep squat position, we're going to take it back down to the beginning again. Then we've got one final movement to add in before we then move into our strength section of this class. So rocking the hips from side to side. We're going to take that left foot back, so both hands flat on the floor, the left foot goes right back, right hand on the inside of the right foot, reaching up to the ceiling with the left hand, just 2 this time, so that was 1, 2, second one here, reaching through, hands out to the side, and get those hips rocking from side to side again. Wonderful, again, nice and easy on that breathing there. Good, and then both hands flat down. You can take that right foot, step backwards, and hips go back into that start position. Okay, rocking forwards and backwards. All right, final exercise or final movement we're going to put in, then we're going to take it all the way back up to the top, add one more in, and then we'll be done for that first half. So, left foot this time comes forwards. Opposite side, right foot comes forwards, right hand in, left hand up, reach through, up, reach through, hands out to the side, rocking from side to side just a couple of times. Nice one. Okay, then we're going to put our hands right into the middle. We're going to step forward with that other foot, sit down into that deep squat position, rocking your hips from side to side there. Again, try and stay with your chest up and your shoulders pulled back. Good, again, shuffle backwards, give yourself a little bit of space. We're going to go hands down. So again, from the side, hands down, push your hips forwards, squeeze your butt, push your hips up. Good, back again, hips forwards. Last one, hips forwards, and from this position, we're going to bring ourselves forward. So both hands come forwards in front of the knees, and then you're going to push yourself back into a squat. So if you could put those two together, you'd be rolling forwards, bringing your hands forwards, push into the floor, and back in that position there. So let's try that slow. Squeeze your butt, push your hips forward, knees come down, everything's in a nice stretch from the front. Both hands come forwards into the middle, push yourself down and back into that squat position. So we're basically moving from this front position here, pushing your hands into the floor and going from there. So let's try that a couple of times. Hips go forwards, hands come round and push yourself into the middle. One more time, squeeze your butt, hips come forward. If you can, come forward onto your toes, makes it a little bit easier than splitting out to the side, and then hands come in to the middle. Okay, we're sat in that deep squat position then, so stay there. Rocking from side to side as we then take both hands to the floor. We're going to step back with the right foot this time, the left hand stays next to the left foot, reaching up to the ceiling and reaching through behind that front foot. Good, couple more. 1 and 2. Hand out to the side, rocking the hips from side to side. Big movement. There we go. And then finally stepping back with that left foot so that your hips are back into the middle. Okay, so that's all of our movement section done, our sort of mobility section done. So grab yourselves a very quick drink, as it's quite hot, especially in here. I'm in a conservatory, so it's a little bit warm out here. Alright guys, so second half. We're going to make it a little bit shorter because we kind of overran ever so slightly in that movement section. But our second section is all going to be about strength and controlling our movement as we move nice and slow and purposefully. Now, a few people, or if you've seen myself in the gym, maybe with some clients, or you have been a client, you know that I very much like crawling around on the floor. Crawling is not just a fantastic exercise for building up upper body strength and your coordination. It's also pretty good for your brain as well, because adults, we don't really spend too much time on the floor. So we're going to get down on the floor for this strength section, starting off with crawling. Now for crawling, we'll be on all fours. So hands, knees and feet on the floor there. The only difference is our knees are going to be up off the floor here. And we're going to be moving our bodies in opposite. So the left hand and the right leg is going to be moving, so that contralateral movement, and equally right hand and left leg moving. And we're going to try and move from side to side. So have a practice at this first. Just side to side. So as your left foot moves across, your right hand moves across. Same as your left hand moves across, your right hand moves across. Left foot, sorry. So from side to side. This is our first exercise for our strength section. So nice and slow, controlled movement from the side. We're in here, and we're trying to keep that back nice and straight, and all of that movement under control. So that's our first movement that we've got there, so crawling. Now you can do that one in a square, you can do that one in a circle, you can go forwards and backwards, you can go side to side, doesn't really matter whichever one you do. For the purpose of today, we're going to go from side to side, and then from there we're going to add in a couple more movements. So let's get that crawling moving first. Give yourself a little bit of space. We're going to our right, just 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, back the other way, 1 and 2, to the side, 1 and 2, back the other way. Now we're going to sit back onto our feet here. So if you can see from the side, we're going to sit back. Now our knees are still off the floor, but we're going to walk ourselves forwards into a push-up position. So walking out, push-up position, walking back, sitting back on your heels there. So walking out, good, walking back, one more to go, walking out, and walking back from there. Now let's try and put the crawling back in. So straight back into the crawling from left to right. Good. Nice movement. Controlled. Back into the middle. And just give yourselves a moment's rest. You'll probably feel like your quads are burning up. That's absolutely fine. If they are, stand up, shake your legs out, and come and get back down to it. Okay, next exercise we're going to move into. We've got our crawling. We've got sitting back and walking out. From there, we're going to sit back again once more on our heels. And we're going to sling our leg underneath us so that we're moving through. So from the front this time is much easier to demonstrate. Let's get back into our crawling. So from side, one side to the other side. Good, just 2 on each side. 1, 2, back into the middle, sitting back onto our heels from here. Now this is our walking out, so out nice and straight into that top push-up position. Walk yourself back, sitting back on your heels. Walking yourself out, good, and walking yourself back. There, and we're going to go one more time. Walk yourself out, good, and walking yourself back. So from here, we're going to take our our left leg, and we're going to sling it through underneath us out to the side. So the left hand stays planted, the right hand comes off the floor, and the left leg sticks straight out to the side there. Right foot stays on the floor. So from there, back into the middle. So right hand comes off, left hand stays down, left leg goes up, and then you're coming back into the middle. Let's try that on the other side too. So right hand stays on the floor, left hand comes off, right leg is going out to our side. And we just slide it out through underneath us there, back into the middle, and then onto the other side. So let's try that, alternating from side to side. Good. Again, movement's nice and slow and controlled. As you're in this position, you don't want to drop down here. You want to keep yourself up nice and tall. So back into the middle, out to the side. Okay, back into the middle then. Let's walk back out into our tall push-up positions. One more, and then we go back to our crawling to restart from the beginning. Good. Okay, back to crawling. So to the side. 1, 2 to that side. To the other side. 1, 2 to that side. Back then to the middle. And relax there. I'll grab myself a quick drink. Get a bit warm in here. Okay, we've probably got 2 more movements to do for our strength section, and then we'll probably call it a day there, because otherwise we're going to run out of time. Okay, so we've got 3 so far. Crawling, sitting back and walking out, and then our leg swinging underneath. We're then going to roll over onto our back and move into dead bug position. So let's walk through there. So let's start off in that crawling position again. Hands and feet on the floor. 2 to one side. 2, and then 2 to the other side. Good, that's 1, 2. One more time to the other side. 1 and 2. Right, we're going to sit ourselves back onto your heels again. Walking yourself out into that tall push-up position. Good. Walking yourself back. One more time to go on that one. Walk yourself out. Good. And walk yourself back. Now we're slinging our leg through underneath so that left hand stays on the floor. That right hand comes off, left leg goes through. Nice and easy. Into the middle there. Same on the other side. Right leg goes through. Into the middle. Over the other side. We've got one more on each side. Then we're going to roll over into our dead bug position. So let's take it over. Right leg goes out straight. We're going to roll down onto our backs so that you're nice and flat on the floor. I'm just going to shuffle myself a little. So starting off in your disc position, so hands off the floor, feet off the floor. Make sure you've got your butt squeezed and your abs squeezed tight. Whole body goes nice and long, and we're going to dead bug right hand to left foot, and then left hand again to right foot. All the time trying to keep the hands and the feet off the floor. If you find that you can't keep both hands and feet off the floor, that's absolutely fine. You can drop your feet down, but make sure that you keep your abs squeezed still and your butt squeezed still as well. Everything's nice and squeezed in your midsection, and that slow and controlled movement from opposite hand to leg as we go there. As the arms come above your head, make sure that you extend them so that they're nice and straight, almost as if you were gonna go for a Superman. Okay, we've got one more on each side, and then we're going to bring ourselves back up. So bring yourself back up into that seated position. Hands are going to go down to your side. Bring yourself into the middle, and then we're going to go back to our legs through on either side. Okay, one more on each side there. Okay, going back into the middle, and we're going to walk ourselves up. So walking out, straight push-up position, walk yourself back into that crouched position. One more to go, walking out and walking back in. And then our final one, crawling from side to side, knees just off the floor. One more, and back into that middle there. Now, I think that we are probably going to hold it there just because we've overrun by a few minutes there. So we're going to hold it there, guys. I think we did have a couple more exercises to do, but that would probably take us to about a 45-minute class. And I know those of you that are on lunch may have to get back to things. So we're going to hold it there. Just do a couple of stretches to finish things off as we're there. So as always, you're going to sit sideways on. We're looking to stretch out our hamstrings. So left leg stays bent. If you can, sit back on your feet. If you can't, just stick your heels up and sit onto your heels there. So sit down if you can. Right leg comes out nice and straight so that you've got that 90 degrees at your hips there. And you're just going to reach down that right leg as far as you can. Again, feel that stretch up the back of the leg. Nice and easy on your breathing as well. So like we said at the beginning, thinking about trying to breathe using your diaphragm. Breathe, pulling the breath down deep into your body. Okay, let's turn your right leg so that your toes are pointed in the same direction as your knee. You keep the leg out to the side. You bring yourself up nice and tall and turn and look over your right shoulder. Now we're really starting to increase that stretch there As you can see, I'm not the most flexible person, but that gives a fantastic stretch right up the inside of the leg there. Your adductors. And relax there, both hands down into the middle. Let's swing it back the other way. So, get the sideways on. Make sure you've got a bit of space to your left. Sitting back on your heels, the left leg goes out again. 90 degrees there at the hips. And you're reaching down that left leg as far as you can. Again, keeping your breathing nice and easy. Nice and slow. If you can, try and count to 2 seconds in and 2 seconds out. Okay, so we're going to turn that foot then, toes pointing in the same direction as that knee. Leg goes out straight to the side, and you bring yourself up into a tall position. Turning over the left and looking over your left shoulder. You might feel it a little in your hip flexors on the opposite side, and then also up the inside of that left leg there. Good. And relax there. Last little one that we're going to do. I'd like you to take both hands. You're going to sit forwards as far as you can. Now, same sort of things we did at the beginning. Drop your knees apart, and you're just going to sit right down into a nice deep stretch there. Hands go as far forward as you can, and you're trying to bring your chest to the floor. So bring yourself up, take a breath in, and then as you go down, breathe out, and trying to get that chest all the way down to the floor. Good. And as you sat here, you can think about pushing your knees a little further apart as well, get a bit more of a stretch into your hips. Wonderful stuff. Okay, bringing yourself forward nice and easy, up into a sit stance, and give yourself a little clap. Very nicely done, guys. Thank you very much for watching, for those of you that have tuned in, and also thank you to those of you in the future that may watch this and have got to this point as well. Just a couple of things before we wrap it all up. Don't forget to like and share this video, share it as much as you can. It's good for us to get all this content out there. Also, post any comments or questions that you've got at the bottom of this video. I'll do my best to answer any that have come in through the session, and then we'll also pick them up if you post them in the future too. Don't forget about the fact that we've got our Does You Good coach service on Twitter, and check out our other classes as well. We've got them on at 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock almost every day apart from the weekends. So go ahead and check out some of the other classes that we've got there. Different instructors doing different types of classes. Hopefully something for everybody there. Finally, my very last one, we've got something going on at the moment called Your Active Story. Basically, if you email into Sport and Wellbeing about any of your, or how you've been keeping active throughout this lockdown period, and if we share your story, you'll be entered in to win, well, by emailing in your story, you'll automatically be entered in, but if we share your story, you have a chance of winning some Bluetooth headphones and a water bottle as well. So do make sure that you send us an email into Sport and Wellbeing. You can find the email address both on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the web page as well. And yeah, make sure that you tell your friends about how amazing this all is. Cool. Okay, right. Thanks very much, guys. We'll call it there. Have a lovely day and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you very much. Bye bye.